Welcome to It's the Muppet Show podcast. I'm Heather.
I'm Jason.
This week we're watching Season 1, Episode 2. Our very special guest star is Connie Stevens and Ernie and Bert from Sesame Street. So this episode originally aired on February 12th, 1977. Even though it's considered Episode 2, it's actually Episode 23.
It's weird how they did that.
Yeah.
Probably just another one that wasn't quite hitting for them.
Yeah, they seem to want to go back and do some of the add-in scenes and that sort of stuff we'll get to later.
Absolutely.
But yeah, they definitely reordered them to air in the U.S. So we have Connie Stevens as our primary special guest star. And I like to look at what they were doing and why they were possibly in London at the time. So Connie Stevens had an interesting life that we'll talk about later, but at the time, 1976, she had recently done two, 70s sexploitation movies. Yeah. Scorchy was the most recent one that was aired came out in 76.
Scorchy did not come up in my research.
Yeah, Scorchy. She played a detective, trying to solve a crime, but the poster's amazing. It was like, she killed a man and had sex twice and did something else, and the night's not even over yet. Like, okay, so that's who we're dealing with coming on the Muppets.
Okay, interesting. Great. Good.
So her lead is Sex Pot.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, I guess, her career, basically her film career began in 1957 with a slew of movies I'm unfamiliar with. Young and Dangerous, Rockabye Baby, Party Crashers. Those were all in the 50s. She gained most of her fame playing a character named Cricket Blake on a television show, Hawaiian Eye, and that was in 1959, so early 60s, late 50s, early 60s. She was also a singer, hitting the Billboard 100 charts and the UK singles charts in the 60s. She was also a nightclub act.
Which is what she was doing
day.
a lot. Yeah, around this time she was doing nightclub stuff.
Yeah. Like other performers of her ilk, she also made a lot of appearances in not schlocky, but series 70s and 80s television shows.
Fantasy Island.
Yep, Love Boat, Fantasy Island.
I think she did some Hollywood Squares.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
People from kind of our generation might know her from Grease 2, where she played the sex ed teacher, Miss Mason. Again,
playing that sex angle.
Right.
She definitely leaned on that. I like that she has this huge resume. She went on to be a director and producer and all these things, and she did great stuff, but she leaned on the sex pot thing.
Right.
She's part of the Eddie Fisher, the Fisher dynasty.
Well, she was married to him.
Yeah, for 2 years, and they had 2 kids.
Yep.
And those daughters are also actresses now. She is not Princess Leia's mom. She followed Elizabeth Taylor in the Eddie Fisher line he went from the brunette bombshell to the blonde bombshell.
Oh my goodness.
Okay,
gracious.
we're getting really into.
I was gonna say that's where we're getting.
Let's get this going.
We're getting into the weeds here. We're gonna start the episode.
Yeah, we're gonna start the episode. Yeah. Oh yeah, and don't ignore that Ernie and Bert also just make a random.
Yeah, we'll get to them as they come up in the episode here. Nothing, as far as the intro, nothing's really deviating from the classic intro. I don't think we're gonna get to the change for a while. I guess I can talk a little bit about Ernie and Bert right now. Their first appearance was on the screen test the test pilot of Sesame Street.
Okay, wait, I have to talk about this. Fozzie's dad joke is making fun of Gonzo, but Gonzo throughout this episode is actually there's this subtext behind that we'll talk about, but Gonzo's like sort of defending him the whole time.
Yeah, that's the backstage through line. Okay, so now here's our first look at Connie.
In her little 50s outfit.
Yep. She's wearing a kind of a poodle skirt.
Yep.
Love it.
Yep, perfect.
Yeah, so that's kind of the backstage through line is Gonzo and Fozzie kind of having a misunderstanding.
So then we go into the first skit, which is Lydia, the tattooed lady.
Absolutely.
And this is one of those fill-in scenes.
I love this set. It is so like vaudevillian with the
which makes sense with Lydia
lights.
as well.
Kind of a sideshow act.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the classic tattooed lady, which they did a really good job as the classic song, like classic Barker song on the sideshow.
Yep.
Like Coney Island with the tattooed lady. And so this is a pig with awesome orange hair.
Yeah.
And she's, bodysuit covered in tattoos. And the song goes through and talks about, crossing the Delaware and the American flag and Andrew Jackson, I think, and the ships on her hips. And they did all of the tattoos. So I'm imagining
Jim drew them. Actually.
Did Jim draw them? Okay, cool. I'm just imagining the artists backstage just like covering this pig with tattoos like a little kid.
This was one of his favorites and was actually performed at his memorial.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I love it. I mean,
I can't watch the memorial.
No, we have definitely tried
gut-wrenching.
to do that. It is the saddest thing ever for anybody our age.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure one of my friends who used to run a vintage store has those exact glasses.
Yeah, she looks like a friend of ours from Portland.
She does
sure.
look like
She looks like Kim. We'll call her out. Looks like Kim.
Looks like Kim.
But she also looks
except
like
for-
Lydia, who I also worked for.
Oh, interesting.
Lydia had bright red hair like that.
Yep. That's amazing.
But yeah, it's a great sketch.
And let's be clear, Kim does not look like a weird curvy pig.
No, she doesn't.
She just has the
those
same
glasses. I was going to mention...
and then we get the Miss Piggy off stage just decking Kermit for checking out another
she's-
lady.
Yep, straight up jealous here. I like how it's a punch still at this stage.
Yeah, she hasn't worked out her...
Her jujitsu
Weird,
or kung fu
wide-eyed.
or whatever. Yeah. Oh, God.
Okay, and I just don't understand this joke at all. So Statler and Waldorf have this joke about somebody. I understand why he'd like her. It's the kind of guy who would plant poison ivy.
He likes torture.
Seriously, don't understand that.
He likes a hard time.
And here's the first scene with Gonzo and the teddy bear. So there's this long misunderstanding through the whole thing where
He's talking to
Gonzo
Hilda.
brings his ratty teddy bear in and wants Hilda to fix the teddy bear, and Hilda just hates the teddy bear, thinks it's the ugliest thing. It's ratty, it's moldy, it's whatever. And then
Here comes Fozzie in the
walks out of
background
his dressing room and hears Hilda just saying, "That bear is the worst thing I've ever seen in this theater." So, classic Three's Company misunderstanding.
Right. Almost kind of like a telephone game, kind of.
So then Fozzie gets real upset, which is
man,
understandable.
what a bummer. He is.
He's understandably upset.
Absolutely. Oh,
Yeah.
and here we have the Swedish chef.
Yep.
Fantastic. Cooking meatballs at
Yep.
this point. When do you remember seeing the Muppet Show for the first time?
Sorry, the Swedish Chef subtitles are pretty amazing.
Oh my God. Yeah, they're unintelligible.
Das
gut.
gut. Oop. Speaking gibberish.
Yeah, they're not even trying.
And his kitchen's gorgeous. I love it's a lot of copper.
Yeah, the overhead vent, the hood is awesome.
And all the cookware is copper, and it's pretty nice.
That he ended up volleying the meatballs over to Statler.
Yeah.
Wayne and Wanda enter, talking smack about Connie Stevens. Oh, that's all right.
Yeah, and then Connie Stevens comes out in that
No
little
one's on
50s
stage.
outfit.
Yep. Rocking the poodle skirt.
I think they put a lot of stock in Wayne and Wanda in the beginning, and I just don't really get it.
I like them. They're pathetic.
They are the ultimate rubes, I
Right,
guess.
right.
Things are going to happen to them.
Well, I feel like because we have Connie talking to Kermit backstage. Kermit is dressed up.
Nice little
noticeably dressed up.
Yeah, wine-colored tuxedo. It's nice.
He's happy to have her around.
And
It's
this is also our first experience
here.
of Connie Stevens' voice. She is like...
Let's get to it.
Yeah, her voice is horrible.
It's very baby doll.
Yeah,
and she's an older woman at this point.
She's 39.
Not that... Okay,
she's 39, which is like not...
No one should really... I mean, that's just a tough voice.
It's a tough voice. I mean, it was sort of... There was like the Marilyn Monroe breathy thing, obviously earlier than this, but
I feel like
so this was like the beach blanket bingo. Like, I don't know where this baby voice came from, but this is Kermit's little 50s.
Kermit's intro on this is fantastic. I may have to drop it in here, actually.
I'm going to go out there and give you a big 1950s disc jockey style introduction, okay?
Okay.
Woo! This is Kermit the Frog, your favorite jock with all the top tunes of the day spinning merrily out your way. Stacks and stacks of wax and wax. And this is a golden oldie, a blast from the past, the fabulous Connie Stevens and the Mutations with a platter that mattered way back in 1956. Let's look on Teenager in Love. Connie, you're on!
So, it makes sense that she's singing this song, given when she first started singing, she was a teenager. And she was in that type of band.
Teenager in Love is the
she's
song
singing Teenager in Love. Right. And it is god-awful.
I like the Mutations, her backup dancers.
They're great. That's like full-body puppetry.
Yep. I feel like I've seen these guys, or this type of character shows up periodically.
Mm-hmm. But this is not her range. This is like her trying to be a teenager in love, singing something she probably sang great as a kid.
Right. Those are Scotty dogs on her skirt, not poodles. But I do.
The classic poodle skirt didn't necessarily have poodles in it. It was just that shape.
Right.
For some reason, those puppets remind me of the Ramones. Like, it's just their lanky, shaggy everything. Like,
right.
I love them for it.
So that was Teenager in Love. It's a little rough, but, overall not too bad. We're back to the backstage
drama.
Yep. Fozzie has yet again overheard another conversation saying, "Get rid of the bear."
Mm-hmm.
He's nonplussed.
But that's where Gonzo is actually defending him. He's like, "No, but I like him. He's, he's funny, but he's moldy." Like, and the ballroom scene.
We're at
Dr.
the dance.
Teeth making a move on Gladys. Is that her name?
I believe it is Gladys. Yep.
So Gladys usually dances with George, the maintenance guy.
Yeah, the janitor, right?
But then Dr. Teeth made some moves.
We got Animal tossing the showgirl around.
1, 2, 3, dip, which I'm pretty
That's
sure
classic.
my sister and I did all the time.
I think my brother and I also did that.
Yeah.
Oh, that was great.
Phenomena Dude was in the background too. Okay, now this
is fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go.
Oh, it's Ain't Misbehaving by the Electric Mayhem. It's a Fat Wallers song. But the way it's filmed is just great. I feel it's classic Muppets for one, with the gel lights and stuff. There's like big gel spotlights, but I also feel it's just like very quintessential like variety show. Mm-hmm. Like if you were gonna like, this is how they would shoot like a real band.
Yeah.
There's really no joking to this. It's just nice.
Yeah, like every single part of it, like the musicians are all really good.
Yep.
I feel like this may have started with like the band, possibly. Like I was trying to think, like, how did this even exist? And like I feel like somebody walked in on the band just like messing around and playing songs that they like to play, and this was just so good.
Or we've seen some, Muppets documentaries and stuff like that, but and they always mention how much Jim was into just not only music, but just different types and varieties of music. And I think this is just a great example of that, These are just, honestly, the Electric Mayhem and their singular characters are some of my favorite Muppets out there.
Yeah, Floyd and Janice are definitely like top tier for me.
Power couple.
Yep.
I'm a Zoots man and a Dr. Teeth's guy, but Floyd's great. Absolutely. And of course, Animal. That's just that's Everyone says that. So we have the FaceTime sort of act coming up here.
Next
the skit. It's just Kermit and Connie just in like this
being
weird
creepy.
like mauve kimono, not a kimono, but like a
dressing gown.
What the hell?
It's a dressing. It's a dressing gown.
There's pants in that.
Oh, is it a?
It's a pants. Is that a
kimono
pantsuit?
Pantsuit? It's very it's like shiny and satiny, and I don't really recall this big like loafy chair. Otherwise, usually it's like a wall they're standing, like Kermit's sitting on a wall, but she's just like cozy in this little thing.
And it's gonna go from the normal FaceTime into
a song.
It's the Carpenter. Well, it's not the Carpenters made it famous, but it's close to you. They long to be parentheses.
And this is so much more her range.
It is. It is. She
like
sounds
it's
better.
breathy, but when she like hits the notes, she hits them so much stronger. I think it's a way better song for her.
I agree. I like the Carpenters. Her version of it is all right.
Yeah.
But Fozzie's interrupting Kermit's attempts at having a little one-on-one.
And she's okay with it. She's gonna sing to both of them and make them both feel special. Because she's that kind of lady.
It's hilarious.
It is, yeah. She does a lot of tickling of Kermit.
Yeah, there's a lot of touching. Oh, Statler and Waldorf. They also want to get close to her. That was the little
I don't believe it.
bit. Okay, we have Fozzie packing his bags. He's got his rubber chicken. He's got his another little hat, a book. And he's out of here.
Yeah.
Listen, they're talking about me. Well, I will not listen. He's out of here. And it cuts to Scooter and Gonzo outside of Fozzie's dressing room. Scooter is saying that he likes the bear as well. Both agreeing
he's funny.
He's funny. And Gonzo's saying, oh, we might as well get a new one. And I guess
Kermit says that he wants to get a new one.
Oh, right. And Scooter agrees with that as well. And Fozzie just can't stand it anymore.
I really like, so we've moved on to the next skit, but I do have to say I like Fozzie's profile in that is great. Like the line of his profile as he's like gape-mouthed is
Classic
a really
Fozzie.
good line.
Yeah. Now, I like this act. This is the Sax and Violence Act by Zoot Manamana, and that's Nigel, the conductor of the orchestra.
Sounding exactly like Kermit.
Yeah, he does. Well, he's got a little inflection. And originally, he was a potential host for the Muppet Show at one point during the planning stages. Now, this is a hilarious. It's Zoot playing one note. He's way above this. He's already looked up to the music gods for forgiveness. And this is this is Dave Gold as Zoot, and it's great. We got Phenomena coming in with a bell.
And this is where the violence somewhat starts, because Zoot is angry about the Phenomena guy.
Yeah, he's straight up stepping in front of Zoot, reading the sheet music. I mean, he doesn't know anything, especially nowadays, about personal space. This is just too much. I was going to point out that both Lydia, the tattooed lady, and this song, Sax and Violence, was featured on the 1977 Muppet Show cast album, which I still possess.
Excellent.
Yeah. Lydia is side A, track 9, and this Sax and Violence song, which I never picked up on, and I'm glad of that as a kid, the pun, is side B, track 10.
So, I mean, so Jim Henson had already done a whole show called Sex and Violence. That was
one of the pilots.
Yeah.
Or one of the shows they took around to try to syndicate this whole show.
So they weren't hiding that. It was literally called Sex and Violence.
That one was called Sex and Violence. Yeah. Okay, we have Gonzo doing more of a Daredevil kind of skit this time.
That's where he starts to kind of formulate that, like that's what his character is. He's the Daredevil. Where it lasts for 2 seconds. He wants to...
It's very dangerous.
Grow a tomato plant while playing...
The 1812 Overture.
And then it immediately goes wrong and nobody sees it.
That plant was wild.
Yeah, and then here's the final culmination of the the bear subplot.
The backstage plot is coming to a head here.
Their hug is really cute.
It really is.
Fozzie's just like clutching Gonzo, but it's like it looks really cozy.
So is this still the same old Fozzie puppet, or is this the new one? We're gonna look for the ears versus the mouth.
I think
Seems
it's
like
ears.
this. No, he's still frowny. I think. Yeah, he would have wiggled his ears there. I think.
I don't know.
So I think this is still because this was filmed
see,
early.
That's part. I kind of like the old mouth because that's what helps that profile. It's a really
The
like
mouth droop.
super
Look at
good
how
line.
pinheaded he is.
Yeah.
I like it.
For some reason, I always love a good Kermit freak out.
Absolutely. That arm flailing is on point. Muppet News Flash. Hotline to Washington.
Direct calls.
Ooh, burns his hand. That was flash in the pan.
Wow.
No pun intended there. Very quick.
I was wondering. I didn't even notice this like the first time we walked through. Okay, now we're getting to Ernie and Bert for no particular reason.
Yep.
just a really like early crossover episode.
Yeah, and they were trying to really keep the line between Sesame Street versus adult Muppets. So this seems like a weird choice, but anytime you get to see Ernie or Bert, I'm down.
Okay. I lived in those Ernie shirts.
Oh my god,
That was like my 70s look.
Yep.
Just a really.
I'm not sure if I'm an Ernie man or a Bert man. I think I have qualities of both of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're the classic odd couple.
I like a good paperclip collection.
Uh-huh.
And a rubber ducky.
A good rubber ducky.
That was in my notes that of Ernie and Bert, only Ernie was the one to hit the Billboard 100 chart with Rubber Ducky in 1970.
Wow.
I'm not sure where it charted, but he did
charted.
He did chart for Rubber Ducky.
Nice. I want there to be a Billboard top 20.
A Billboard top 20. So that was good. They were basically just like Bert is nervous about being on the Muppet Show, which he considers the big time, overperforming on Sesame Street. And Ernie's just dunking on him. It's just like, you're an idiot. And now Bert has put on a tuxedo. Yep. He's got sort of the Abraham Lincoln top hat on. Some sort he's got like a dancing wand.
Yeah. That's the classic, like, dancer.
Okay, and then we have Connie in the background descending a staircase.
Lots of fan work going on.
Yep,
There's heavy fans, so she's very flowy.
Looks very wickery in the background, too. But again, this is like very reminiscent of the 70s variety show where there's a very simple set and a singer. Bert, we should mention is singing some enchanted evening. It's pretty operatic.
I feel like there's a lot of off-key singing in this episode.
Yeah, some of it intentional and some of it not.
Yeah. It's a lot of singing for not a lot of talent.
She's doing a good job dancing with Bert.
It makes you realize how big the puppets are. That was my weird thing.
Right.
Like that's
I'm sure there's some forced
puppet.
perspective going on with it, but it's a good sized puppet. Yeah, seriously. Bert definitely does have a lot.
And then she runs back up the stairs to stand at the fan.
Not a bad final act.
That's the end of almost the end of the whole episode. But that's the last skit.
That's the last full skit.
Ernie comes back on just to
dunk on Bert again. She's like, Ernie, come here. What, Bert? Did I just make a complete fool of myself? Absolutely, Bert.
And I just don't remember that dynamic from Sesame Street.
They would always.
And I didn't watch Sesame Street
rough.
that much. They'd be rough on each other. This
we gotta talk
outfit,
about this.
Yes.
Okay, well, she's got a rhinestone blue blazer on.
That's
Look at
pink.
the cuffs.
That's a lot of
pink. I didn't notice
pink.
the cuffs last time.
Yeah.
Probably because I was staring at her cleavage.
Yeah, that
which
is
also
delicious.
on display. This is ridiculous. Okay, and the tomato plant came back and has ensnared her.
And they start this pattern of making
The
Muppets of the guest stars.
I think they only did that for a couple episodes. Maybe even just for these 2 pilots, because I don't...
Well, they have him in a skit later with...
maybe.
Yeah.
But as far as every episode...
Yeah, but that parting shot, yeah.
Yeah.
Not as much.
Yeah. I mean, what did you think of this episode overall?
I feel like it's way better than the first episode.
Yeah.
There's a lot more going on. I think they leaned more on the singing, even
Right.
in the face-to-face time with Kermit.
Yeah.
They went into a song, and I don't think that was necessary. But she just made she has the acting chops. I don't know why they didn't lean on it more.
I think it was kind of dealer's choice when you signed up for the Muppet Show. They were just happy to have you.
Parting shot from Stadler and Waldorf with their little exit joke saying that it's going to drive people to read books, basically.
Well, I'm
really good at jokes, right?
I'm looking forward to slightly more cohesive episodes, I guess.
I'm excited for the next one.
Who's next? Joel Grey?
Joel Grey. Joel Grey is next. I love his creepy vibe.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for joining us for more It's the Muppet Show podcast. Check us out at itsthemuppetshowpodcast.com. Also, you can listen and watch with us on YouTube at It's the Muppet Show Podcast, where you can like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe!
Yay!
I really want to do a good animal someday.
We'll try not to do too many impersonations.
Yeah.
But, all right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.